Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us under the library, our actual play Call of Cthulhu show. Tonight we are continuing our pre-production playthrough of our upcoming second module, which will be called The Most Dangerous Game. This is episode 3 of that playthrough. If you enjoy what we do here and would care to support us, head over to underthelibrary.com/support. There you'll find links directly to our first module, called The Snake's Oil, and our Patreon. Again, that is underthelibrary.com/support. And if you'd like to get more story-driven and less rules-dependent in your own tabletop role-playing, check out our other podcast. It is called Up Your RPG and can be found wherever you get your shows. My name's Arthur. I am playing Dev in this module. We are still without Wayne, but Scott has returned and will continue playing Rufus. Chris is Tommy. Emily's playing Amelia. Rick is the captain. And as always, our keeper is Michael. Did I forget Emily? No, I said Emily. Emily's Amelia. I said that. I looked at you and I was like, God, did I say that?
Dr. Palmer.
Yes, that one. Michael's our keeper. Michael, the show is all yours.
Hey, thanks for joining us under the library. We are a Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game set in the Call of Cthulhu universe, featuring themes of horror and who knows what, but it should get maybe a little bit gory this week. So with that, if you get excited at the possibility of phone calls at 3 a.m., you're in the right place. And with that, I'll turn it over to Emily for last week's recap.
All right. Last week, en route to Amelia's coordinates in the Bahamas, they found an island. We found an island that was not on any of Dev's maps. And
Charts.
where charts. And
Dr.
where
Palmer.
Amelia expected open sea. Amelia sees a woman in white on the shore, but when they eventually get to the shore, they don't see any sign of her. Splitting into 2 and 2, the party goes different directions, the perimeter of the island, exploring, meet on the other side, and also Dev did a little bit of shallow diving to find some ruins that ended up having nothing to do with Amelia's lost ship, but instead were much newer. And which set Captain Ghettoff on a little bit of a tangent.
Did it set him off?
It did set him off, yeah. Anyway, from both sides of the island, we saw a strange building, possibly military, definitely older than 70s, but not old like Amelia's 16th century history. And they head for the building, cross a moat, up the stairs, and as we ended our session, the 4 of us stood in front of a large wooden door with an iron knocker.
Nice knocker.
Rufus, we're going to start with you, since we didn't see you last week. You wake up on the boat and finally not feeling so seasick and hungover, and exiting kind of the lower part of the ship and walking out on the bow, you find that everything's quite quiet on the ship and that you're alone. And you're looking out around the ship and it's facing an island. And you're probably, I don't know, like 100 yards off the island, 100 feet. We'll call it 100 feet off the island. And there's 3 kind of hillishy, mountainy things and a large stone structure on top of one of them from your vantage point.
And if you remember, I ended we saw him come out and I'm like waving to see if he can see me.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you can make a spot hidden there, Rufus, to see if you see Tommy waving at you.
All right, hold on. I got a 40. Yeah, regular success.
All right, so you see a small little person up at the base of this stone structure, waving their hands and crossing out to you. And maybe would they be brightly clothed enough, Tommy, that you would be distinguishable?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, pasty bare arms. Yeah.
I'm wearing beige.
Of course you are.
Oh, also pasty legs because I have to cut off jean shorts.
Right.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So, and is there a dinghy left at the boat or some sort of
I believe there is a dinghy
conveyance
left at the boat.
There
Some water
is,
wings.
but I'm not sure that you would know how to get the dinghy into the water.
Oh, but this will be a lot of fun. Let's give Rufus the opportunity to put the dinghy in the water. I
Oh.
think that'll be fun. Can
So-
you?
No,
Yeah,
I
go
didn't
ahead.
say I was going to do it. I'm just
Okay.
looking, you psycho. So, how far out are we? How many, like, what's the distance to the.
Like 100 feet. You want to swim it?
Yeah. So, what I'm going to do is I'm giving you every chance in the world to do your worst, you horrible human. I'm going to get one of the life preservers and I'm going to put on a life jacket. So
Okay.
I'm like, oh, this is new. This is wonderful. And I'm going to strap on a
Whoa,
life
hey.
jacket. Oh, I'm strapping it on. I'm strapping on a life jacket and I'm trying to like loop it under my crotch.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if they do that or not, but that's my recollection of life
Okay. Sure,
preservers is
sure.
that you
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
under
yeah.
your crotch.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then once I have that on, then I'm going to take a life preserver and I'm going to sort of put that over me as much as I can so that I'm holding onto it. And
Okay.
maybe if I have to like step into it or whatever it takes, however it's going to work with the life preserver. And then I'm going to get to the side and I'm going to get up and I'm going to like jump off, launch myself fully through the air.
Cannonball.
Fully through
Okay.
the air. And yes, and as I'm going through there, I'm going to scream, cannonball!
Can you give me a dex roll on that? I'd just love to see how this strap
So, Scott,
going between your
I
legs.
just want to make sure I had the mental picture here. You have a life preserver, the orange one, old school,
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
shoulders, strapped through your crotch there so that it stays in position. And then you've got a life ring over your head.
Yeah.
Okay, the white life ring.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
It's not necessarily over my head. What I'm trying to do is to have it under my arms. You know what I mean? So that I'm like my upper body from the shoulders up is in it. And I'm
Gotcha.
like, yeah.
So there's absolutely no chance that you could hit the water with such force that it breaks your arms when you slip down through the,
Well, we'll
the
see.
life ring.
or your nads.
Well, we'll see.
This is the
Right.
dex roll. Can we see what this dex roll
This is I never said Rufus was a natural seaman. So I got 67 and my dex is 90. So I got a regular success.
How
Wow,
is
Rufus.
so dex. Okay.
I don't know.
It-
I
fine.
I just literally picked a random
isn't the
character.
cap 75?
Yeah, the cap it's 70, I think, or 75.
I have no
That's
idea.
okay.
Like I said, I just picked a random character.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Oh no, the
fine
cap
then.
is 75 on skills, not on
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
on attributes.
Anyway, you hit the water gloriously, knees folded into your arm, into your left arm with your life ring on your right arm, and you make a glorious splash in the water, which you see, Tommy. You're witnessing this wonderful, belabored I think with that kind of dexterity, he's like doing Olympic swimming towards the shore.
Dev, did you see that? Did you see Tommy just
Yeah, that was
spectacular? He jumped off the ship. He
man.
did like a forward flip, and he landed with barely a splash.
That was Rufus.
Yeah.
As I'm coming in, so
Wow.
what you're seeing. I mean, so you describe me as it is dexterous swimming, but the reality is it might be dexterous, but it's showmanship. So I am kicking my legs, I am spinning in circles, I am looping around, I am just, and I'm singing like, oh, I'm in the water, woo, and I'm just as happy as a character as anyone could possibly be getting to the shore. So
All right.
Okay.
Weird.
And as that's happening, Dev, you hear a creaking sound as the door behind you opens. And it's a large door. It's probably 8.5 feet tall and heavy wood. And as it opens, you're greeted pretty warmly by I wouldn't call it he's not like butler attire, but he has on a white button down shirt and khakis. He is barefoot.
Sort of island butler.
And what's that?
Sort of island butler.
Yeah. And he looks out at y'all and he says, good morning.
So am I first in line? Am I closest
you
to
were
the door?
one that-
I was the one who
you
knocked
were
on the door?
closest
Okay.
to the knocker.
Oh, hey man, how are you? I didn't know if anybody'd be here. So we're on the ship out there. Sorry to intrude, but we're
And he leans out and he peeks his head out at the ship.
Mhm.
And
I'll
he
back
looks
up
at
a little
you.
bit so that he doesn't have to like get in my space to do it. You know, give him a little room.
And he says, "But that is a fine vessel."
Oh, thank you very much. It belongs to this gentleman right back here. So we're looking for a set of coordinates, and it brought us right here. But I wasn't aware that there was an island here. You're not on any of the charts.
It was supposed to be the location of the HMS Paragon.
Dr. Palmer, did you want to have this discussion? I think you seem to know the most about it. Maybe you could ask some questions.
I know about the Paragon. I don't know why there's an island where the ship was supposed to have sunk.
I'll sort of step to the side a little bit so that you can, come in. I'm trying to sort of pass the conversation off to you.
Sure. And
after making that statement, I'm just staring at the man as if he will have an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Huh, not on any maps." He goes, "How interesting." He goes, "Possibly the Millers might have some more information for you." He goes, I'm not quite the historian of the island. I just help to keep things in order."
So you have historians here.
Well, we have two wonderful proprietors who have extensive knowledge of the area.
I need to speak to them. Absolutely.
Well, please.
They would be the ones.
You're welcome to come in. Why don't you come in?
Well, thank you. Take us to the Millers, you said?
And are you starting to step in?
Yes.
Okay, you're stepping in. It's quite beautiful inside. You weren't expecting this. It's has some vaulted ceilings. They're probably about 12 to 13 feet high. And the main area that you step into is pretty wide open. And at the far end, you can see it looks like an alcove of books, like a library set up, and then you also see like a piano on the other So there's an alcove of books on the right hand side. This is pretty far away from you. This is I'd say like 40 to 50 feet on the other side of this room. And then there's a large staircase, like a grand staircase in the middle. And then to the left of that, it looks like some instruments, some rooms on the other side, and a massive chandelier hanging from the ceiling. But immediately for you, Dr. Palmer, give me a history roll on that one. You've got
Sure.
some
And while I'm
history in
rolling, can
there.
I also just clarify, when you say instruments, do you mean other musical instruments, or do you mean like a telescope or a medical instrument?
Yes, musical instruments. I
okay.
apologize.
Okay. That was Emily asking, but I guess I'm just as annoying as Dr. Palmer. I rolled an 8.
Okay. You immediately identify the chandelier hanging from the ceiling as a ship's chandelier. It's not something commonly that would be seen in a house. And the chandelier itself holds candles and is raised and lowered by a chain. And so no traditional light bulbs there. Although they're and the in particular of interest to you is that this chandelier would have come off a very large ship.
Where did this chandelier come from?
Oh, and I'm sorry. My proper introductions. I'm Sturgill. Your name is
Dr. Palmer. Dr.
Palmer.
Amelia Palmer.
Yes. Why don't you have a seat in the library, and I will fetch Nathaniel for you.
Sturgeon, you said?
Sturgill. Sturgeon's a
Sturgill.
fish. Yes.
Yes, it is.
And he laughs along with you. He does. He chuckles. He's like, oh,
Sturgill, do you
I
know
didn't
the
mean to make
history
you
of this
flounder
chandelier?
with that joke.
Oof.
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am. I
It looks like it came from a ship, an old ship.
It's quite possible. Many things in the house are from ships. Mr. and Mrs. Miller are collectors and such of those items, and have brought them here to their home. They think that they make wonderful additions to the ambiance of the property.
Mr. Nathaniel Miller.
Yes,
you said.
Nathaniel Miller. Yes.
Oh yeah, Mr.
Would
Sturgil.
Amelia know? Can I roll a knowledge or something?
Yeah, you can make an edu
A
roll.
great collector named Nathaniel Miller. Okay. You said edu?
Yeah.
Dev is gonna say, I'm gonna go wait for Rufus, and he's gonna head down the stairs and wait to meet Rufus at the shoreline.
Okay.
Hard success.
Hard success.
Hard success.
This name rings a bell to you in Floridian, in your studies of Floridian history. And interesting coincidence, because your readings, you're convinced though that it just has to be a coincidence. But in your studies, you would have known of a family that fled southern Florida in the 18th century, never to be heard from again.
See, when you said Floridian, I was thinking that you meant Spanish Floridian.
Sorry.
Floridian history. It's two very different things.
Yes,
American
yes,
Floridian.
Yes, very true. Yes, I should specify there.
So 18th century, you said.
Your keeper said that. Sturgill didn't say
Your
that.
player said that.
Yes, okay.
Yes, okay. Oh boy. We're blurring the lines here.
Sturgill, Captain Ghettoff here. Nice to meet you. Where's your WC there?
He says, if you go right beyond the dining room table there, and from where you're standing as you walked in, it's over to your right hand side. He said there's a little doorway hidden in the back corner there, and there's a small WC in there.
You got yourselves a private privy.
And he looks at you and he says, "You've got yourself quite the accent, sir. Does it? Where do you hail from?"
Does it usually come and go like that?
That's great. It's like 3 accents in one sentence.
I got a bit of a cough. I'm gonna make my way out over there, full bladder and the like.
Hey, Rick, you'd probably call it a head.
I'm gonna run ahead.
So good.
Okay.
And I'll make my way in that direction. I presume that is the room off to the point where he would not be able to see, like a direct line of sight.
So the
You
room,
in the bathroom?
the main room
Prior.
that you're in, including the dining room table, is a massive room. And the water closet itself is small. It's right off the corner. If you were looking in essence, if you were standing at the front door and you went all the way along the front of the building, it would be on that far right corner. And so, yes, once you're in the water closet, you're veiled, but otherwise, while you're walking towards it, you're not.
But is the door actually hidden? Like, does he see the door when he goes into the big room?
He just meant by that like when you're standing in the room, like it's hard to see the door.
Okay.
The way that it's
got it. So he'll make his way out there, and he'll take a turn around as he's about to nearing that door. Is Sturgill watching?
Is Sturgill watching? No, Sturgill's not watching.
No, he
So
can't pee unless someone's watching.
I was about to say he's a shy peer, so he wants to. So he'll take a look as he's walking. Is there anything noticeable or remarkable in this room as I'm walking? Paintings, portraits with names, etc., etc.
Everything's remarkable. As you walk through the room, they must be extensive collectors. It seems like there's paintings that are hanging around that are by old masters. There's things that appear to be, at least 100 to 150 years old. There's all kinds of artifacts and like pieces, like ship's wheels and other things like that.
Following my events last session, do I see or feel a kindred attention to any of these that may or may not evoke a memory of dear old my Rufus?
You mean like when you got high and started to look at the stream and hallucinate?
I meant when I had 100 and I picked up the cross. Yeah. Not that I want to belabor that, right, and make that last into multiple sessions. I'm just trying to go with a vibe here.
Yeah, I would say that 100 was a real missed opportunity by me. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, it's a shame. Shame that only happens rarely.
Every 15 minutes with us.
I was going to say every episode or two.
And by missed opportunity, let's just say I just pushed it a little further down the road.
Oh, I think we're just rewriting history. Okay, go ahead.
All right. And what tell me about dear old Uncle Rufus.
Uncle Rufus, well, he was born in the late 1900s and was my...
You mean late 1900s? Late 1900s?
Century.
19th century.
I meant
Okay,
century. I said hundreds, numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
And was the older brother to my father. And then after my folks and I had our discord, he took me in and grew up there in Florida. Had a bit of a military background, but then otherwise made his living off of the sea as a fisherman.
And what did Rufus drink?
Oh, it's a great question. I'm gonna say gin. He was a big fan of Pim's Cup.
Okay. And so as you walk towards the lavatory, there's a cart full of liquors next to the table.
Mhm.
And you notice a bottle of Pim's Cup and on that. And what strikes you about it is that Uncle Rufus always tore the top label around
I was
the
just
neck of the
about to
bottle
say,
off.
yeah,
And
just about to say.
this bottle of Pim's Cup is missing that top label, and it sends you into a bit of a frenzy.
Yeah. So Ghettoff, he would have that moment where that sort of panic and excitement and fear all collide at once, and you sort of just hear your own heartbeat and that sort of like buzzing sound in your ears. And his heart rate races, and he looks down. He'll just instinctually grab for the bottle and dash into the bathroom.
Okay. Right. And the rest of you in the center of this kind of grand room is this leather circular seating arrangement. And so to kind of adequately describe this, it's a circle divided into 4 pieces as a piece of furniture, and then there's a central ottoman. So does that make sense? So the main seating's like this circle around a circular table. And Sturgill invites y'all. He says, if y'all care to, feel free to have a seat here or peruse the library.
Yes. Tommy, would you like to go with me to the library?
Oh yeah, I would love to see what they have in their collection. And I'm also fascinated by historical artifacts and oddities and whatnot, so I'll be looking at those as well.
And he says, feel free. I would like to go retrieve Mr. Miller so that he can make your acquaintances, if that would meet with your expectations.
Oh, you're
Yes,
very
please.
gracious. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And so he disappears up that large stairwell. And at the top of that stairwell, there's another set of very heavy doors, like the ones that you entered from the front of the house. And just as you're kind of standing there and maybe like, I'm not directing your characters, but as you maybe like kind of looked around and made your surroundings, there's a room. So the stairwell's in the center, the library's kind of off to the right. These are all open. Like, just think of it as a big kind of grand open air room. To the left of the stairwell is an open area with instruments. To the left of the instruments is a more of a room, but no like physical door on it, that looks like a lot of painting goes on in there. And then another room to the left of that looks like maybe some sort of upholstery or crafting room. And then another room back towards where you entered that appears to have like a large workbench on it, and you could see maybe some tools on the back wall that would make you think that there's some sort of woodworking going on through there.
Wow, it looks like our host is very crafty. Actually, I'm going to go take a quick I'm going to go take a quick peek in the that room where they're doing upholstery. See if they're tanning human flesh or something.
Oh, Tommy.
He thinks to himself. No, I'm just, you know me. I have a morbid sense of humor. But really, Amelia, don't you think it's strange that these people live on a small island all by themselves? I don't know a lot about the islands in this area, or the sea in general. But I don't know. That seems kind of. Well, maybe I should ask Dev when he gets back
I
if
mean,
he thinks that's.
look at the collection. They must be very wealthy. Perhaps they just wanted to get away.
Yeah, I can understand that.
One thing, make a spot hidden with your curiosity there, Tommy.
3.
Whoa. One thing that you pay attention to is that there's no windows. All the light in the room is either by candles or incandescent bulbs.
Vampires! No, just kidding.
Oh, they're probably just protecting the books and the artwork and the instruments. Very
Yes.
detrimental to old paper and wood.
Yeah, I've seen sun-damaged paintings. It's you have to be very careful.
There's electricity in the house?
Yes, there is. As you say that, Dr. Palmer, a man is descending the stairs, and he has on a white button-down shirt as well, but kind of the old like long cuff style, and with some pleated flat black pants, and shouts out to you, "A tremendous observation. You must be a student of the luxurious artifacts of the romances." And we'll cut over to Dev and Rufus as Dev is headed to, we'll say you've met up with Rufus, and Rufus, as you arrive on the island, sopping wet, with your life preserver and your ring on, and you're dripping but elated. You see Dev's smiling face there.
So I'd give you a hand as you're coming ashore. Wow,
Nice. And I'll be like,
Rufus.
Did you see my jump? Did you see my cannonball?
That was spectacular, man. I'm impressed, dude. Usually when you jump in the water, people aren't wearing long pants, socks, and shoes. But
Really?
man, great form, man. Really well done.
That's great. And I'm like, as we're talking, I'm stripping down.
Yep.
And I'm wringing out my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So until I get down to my tidy whities, or I don't know what fashionable chaps were wearing in the 60s or 70s, but maybe leopard skin print kind of something or other.
All right.
I get down to that, and I'm just wringing it all out, and I'm like, this has been the most amazing vacation. Where'd everyone go? Are we sunbathing today?
It's just you right now, buddy. But they are up in the house. So I would suggest, if you want to call that a house, but you might want to leave your socks and shoes here. They're never going to dry. You can just leave them on the side of the dinghy. They'll be dry by the time we get back. And we might want to hang here for a little bit until you get dry. I don't think you want to go into a stranger's house all soaking wet. But if you keep wringing them out and you can sort of lay them in the sun, they should dry off pretty quick.
Sure. And I'll do that. So I'm going to squeeze everything out, do exactly what Dev said, lay it all out, spread it all out on probably a rock or something, or if there's a tree. So get it nice and baking in the sun. And then I'm going right back in the water. And I'm actually a good swimmer. So there was, I had those things just because I've never been in the deep ocean. So I'm not going out far, but I'm definitely going back in the water, and I'm swimming around. And I'm like, Deb, you got to come in. This is the best water I've ever been in.
Yeah, man. The Bahamas water is amazing. You enjoy yourself. So I'm just, kind of looking around. I would throw the life vest and the life ring in the dinghy to bring back to the boat later.
Well, that's on the other side of the island. The dinghy.
I thought we brought the.
Why wouldn't the dinghy be right? Didn't they come right?
No. There was a thing. No, there was a whole thing about the prop getting hit, and we're using electric.
Yeah. I think y'all left it. on the other side.
It's on the other side. Yeah, you guys met us on the other side of the island.
Yeah, and then y'all hiked in.
How did we get across the valley part? I thought we met up
through it.
I thought we met up and took the dinghy back around.
No.
Yeah, we did, because that's when that's when the captain jumped off. And when I went diving and found the cross, we were in the dinghy.
That wasn't in the front. That was towards
That was
the
on the way
side.
back because
Okay.
that wreck was right where the river thing came out. We were coming back across that gap where the stream came out, and that's where
But
that
we're
stuff
not on
under the water
we're-
was.
We're not on the side where the ship is.
Right.
We're on the other side.
The river moat came out around the
'Cause
side
all
that
we-
you explored.
Right, it came
Not
out on
right
the
where we
end.
docked.
It came out on the narrow end. So
On
if
the
it's like a long
south end of the
oval,
island.
it came on the
They're
south
like
end of
90
the island.
degrees. 90 degrees. basically,
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So in my head, we were coming back across that gap on the south end, and that's where the wreck was. And then we continued, and the boat was further down the beach, but on the same
That's
side.
fine. I misunderstood, but that's fine. All right,
Okay.
well, you can have the dinghy there. That's
Okay. If the dinghy's further down and
It's
he's
fine. That's
swimming,
fine.
I
Let's
would
just keep
take the
going. Let's
opportunity
just
to
keep-
grab the
let's just
dinghy and
keep
bring it
going.
back.
Let's just keep going.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
All right. I'm just waiting for him to
let's not get
swim
stuck on
and
the
for his
dinghy.
clothes to get dry.
Okay.
All right. So in a little bit, I'll come out and I'll sort of shake off and dry in the sun. And then, assuming my clothes have dried, I'll put them on. They don't have to be perfectly dry. The goal
Mhm.
is just
Yeah.
that they're not dripping anymore. So, and then I'll be like, let's go see what our friends are doing.
All right. Let's go. Head back up.
So so Rufus, as you walk through the middle of the island, one thing you do is you have to cross yet another kind of body of water. It's about a 6-foot wide stream at the base of these stairs, and 1 to 2 feet deep, and the water's kind of flowing out into the stairs. And so you'll have to cross that somehow.
Do you want to
How's-
bring your shoes with you? Carry him?
Oh yeah, I'll bring this stuff with me. And I've been sort of shaking the shoes out, and I was sort of assuming that they were like white boat shoes, like canvasy. So it's not like it's going to be hard for them to dry. So
Mhm.
I'm sort of wringing them out, and then I'll put them on, and however Dev goes across the water, I'll sort of watch Dev first to cross and do whatever Dev does.
Yeah, if I remember right, did I hop over or just walk? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I did a long jump over it.
Yeah,
I
I think
remember
you
that part.
jumped. I feel like I might have just walked
I
over.
walked.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I'll just walk over.
Yep. So I'll do the same thing. I'm just walking behind, and I'm like, so have you been to this island before, Dev? This looks like a beautiful little island, but I don't remember ever seeing it or hearing about it.
No, that's right. You missed the conversation. So this island sits right on the coordinates that Dr. Palmer gave me, but on the
Oh,
charts, there's no
mysterious-
island here.
Oh, a mystery. A mystery in the middle of the ocean?
Yeah,
Wow. And we get to be part of it?
apparently.
Oh my, let's go see what this mystery is.
All right.
And so you would be climbing these steps. It's about 50 or 60 feet up, Rufus. And when you get to the the house, there's these large wooden doors, and one of them's just cracked open. Sturgill left it that way for y'all, and you would walk in as as the man that I described is talking to Dr. Palmer, and he says, "Do tell me about your love for the arts."
Well, my specific love is for 15th century English history, but through that I have encountered many genres. Your collection of paintings is beautiful. The architecture here, what did you build or not requisition, sorry. What's the word? Sorry, for
Acquire?
Emily. Not acquire, to
Oh, commission.
if you commission, thank you. Did you commission this building?
And he says,
I'm sorry.
he says, why thank you. Your compliments do not fall on unpolished ears. This house was erected by my great grandfather. It's been in the family for years, and I feel nothing but gratitude for the opportunity to usher it into its 200th year.
It's
it looks
so
looks
interesting. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, it looks wonderfully curated. It's almost like being in a museum. All the different historical eras that are represented, to find examples.
And he slides his hand out to you, and he says, "Another fine student of history, Nathaniel Miller, to make your acquaintance."
Hi,
And
I'm Tommy Dabson. I'm pleased to meet you.
Tommy, oh, the pleasure is all mine.
You said 200 years ago your grandfather commissioned this building.
Great
Your
grandfather.
predecessor. Was his name also Nathaniel?
Oh, no. My family's never believed in passing down names like that. That was great grandfather John.
Fascinating. You know, I thought I remembered a Nathaniel Miller from that era. It would have just been kismet if you were related.
And he looks at you. Make a psychology roll.
Okay. I am rolling well tonight. I rolled a 15, and for me, that is an extreme success.
Nice. Hey, and there's something about the way he returns that response to you, and almost like what you said perked a curiosity or ticked at maybe a secret of his.
But I've become distracted. Of course, the reason that we are here is
for dinner. Y'all must eat with us tonight.
Our search for the HMS Paragon. As a true historian, perhaps you know the history of this grand ship.
Really quickly, am I there at this point to hear him say dinner?
Yeah. Y'all. That's what I was saying. Y'all walk into this scene.
Hear this,
of-
and I'm gonna go
Amelia.
dinner.
Oh, it's Rufus and Dev.
Dinner.
Hello, sir. Thank you for welcoming us into your home.
What? The pleasure is all mine. And you, sir, your name is?
Dev, sir. Dev Abercrombie, and Dev will sort of drop into Rhode Island Country Club mode.
Okay.
And walk up and formally shake his hand, and
It says, Nathaniel Miller at your service. Dev Abercrombie, the Abercrombie family. That name rings a bell.
oh, okay. Have you spent any time in New England, sir?
I've spent time all over the world, as you might be able to tell.
Oh, okay. Well, we're from Newport, Rhode Island.
And Dev, where does the name Dev come from? Such an unusual name.
And Dev's going to kind of look a little embarrassed. He said, "Well, yeah, my full name is." So, side note here: if anyone knows where this name is from, don't yell it out. But 87 cool points if you happen to know. I'm looking at you, Chris. He'll look a little embarrassed and he'll say, "Well, my full name is Aloysius Deverdander Abercrombie, but I just go by Dev."
Aloysius, wonderful. Such a masculine name, so full of power and energy. It's a pleasure to have you at our house.
Thank you, sir. It's an old family name.
And you, Mr. Wide Eyes.
And I come walking up, and I'm like, oh, what did he say his name was again?
Nathaniel Miller.
And I'll say, Nathaniel, with a towel to help me dry off and a scotch to drink, you'll have a new best friend in me. And I'll reach out my hand and say, Rufus Wondernutter, pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
And he just snaps, right? And as that Sturgill's down the stairs with a towel in one hand and a scotch in the other. And Nathaniel looks at you and he goes, Rufus. Another fine name. Rufus. You to me, Rufus, look like a man who appreciates a fine scotch. Do you appreciate a fine scotch?
Oh, I love a fine scotch, gin. Yeah, I just there's the most wonderful drinks I've been trying
he
lately.
takes the
You'd
takes
be
the
amazed
glass.
at what a gimlet is. These are drinks that I never knew existed. They are delicious. delicious. You'd be amazed, Nathaniel, amazed at these.
He takes the glass from Sturgill, and it's a very kind of delicate swoop as he passes it forward, and he goes, I had Sturgill bring this out. This is from my finest family reserves. He goes, I present to you an 1820s single malt Highland.
I want to try that.
Wait, is that Dev or Art?
No, that was definitely Art.
and Rufus, like, it starts evaporating as you like tilt the glass towards your lips. It just like
Nice.
tingles and resonates. Oh, it's
Scott
just...
does not know this, but whatever the right way to drink a fine drink like this, Rufus would know and would do whatever it is. Scott
in
would take one sip and then
that,
spit it on the floor.
Yeah, and in response to that, Nathaniel looks at you and he goes, I judged correctly. And he said, and then he claps his hands. So, dinner it is. Is that good for everybody?
Good, that's
sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I go to Amelia. Yeah, we should have dinner, but definitely pursue that line of inquiry because it's a mystery that needs to be solved. We could talk over dinner.
Yeah, if he can just summon a scotch and a towel, perhaps he can summon the ruins of the HMS Paragon.
And Amelia, one thing that catches your eye as you look all across the room, there's corked bottles with letters in them everywhere. And some of these bottles are really intriguing, right? Because they're not mass manufactured bottles. And some of them are dipped in wax. They look like they've never whatever's inside of them has never been disturbed.
Amelia's eyes are very wide.
Did you say
she scans the room?
Letters in a bottle?
Yeah.
Oh.
A letter in a bottle with wax would survive a shipwreck.
Did the captain come back?
From the bathroom?
No.
So what is the captain doing in the bathroom? Should we ask?
Well,
not what's Rick doing in the bathroom. But
we don't want to know what Rick's doing in the bathroom.
Captain Ghettoff is just staring for. It probably seems like a eternity, but probably just a couple minutes at the bottle, at the label going over. If this was really torn or just worn off, he'll slowly uncap the bottle of Pimm's and take a sniff. It smells like Pimm's, I presume.
Oh my God. It brings back like every memory of your uncle's Pym breath, right? Like as he would tell you stories. As he would tell you.
We would Pym juggle sometimes.
As he would tell you stories in the evening on the dock, and that smell of Pym would just like carry through the air and make a sand roll on that note.
A 4.
Wow, we're on fire tonight.
All right.
And Chris just ruined it.
No, let me roll. See what
you
happens.
Jinxed it.
Okay. And so you're really kind of caught in that moment, and on that we'll take a little break.
All right, sounds good. Everybody take 5 or 10 minutes, and we will see you shortly. We are back from break. Michael, back to you.
All right. So I guess we'll go back to Ghettoff and my characters who refuse to make poor rolls in necessary moments to get this horror going. In the bathroom with his bottle of Pimm's.
Yeah, let's get this off. So Ghettoff will put the bottle on the counter. He'll take a strained leak. And then flush twice, just so he's been in there a while. And then is there a place to is there ventilation in this bathroom?
Is there ventilation?
Is there a window or an outlet, for air? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's code.
Yeah.
It's true.
There's at the towards the ceiling. So again, right, these vaulted ceilings kind of carry over into the bathroom. So, but about 12 foot up, there's a little slit, not big, maybe an inch wide or an inch tall, and like probably 24 inches wide that just runs along the wall. That's the ventilation.
Just big enough to let flies in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Huh. I guess that's a bit odd. I'll wash
You
my
think?
hands. I'll I'll wash my hands. What's the soap like?
Weird question.
Actually,
like
it's it
Super
appears,
weird. Dude. I love. My favorite part about this is how Michael is taking it so seriously. He's really putting thought into what soap would these people have in their tiny bathroom downstairs.
It's actually
Maybe
a great
it's
question.
made of lion
Thank you.
lard
It's a
and-
good fucking question.
The soap is it's obviously a handmade bar. It wasn't, it's not like Dove or Lava or anything like that. And it's, how soap after it just sits forever starts to like dry and crackle into
Peel a bit. Yeah.
and peel a bit. That's what it looks like.
So it hasn't been used in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't wash their hands in this house.
I'm gonna and then is there a mirror?
Yes, there is a mirror.
Mm-hmm. Does it open?
No, it's just hung on the wall.
All right, I'm gonna take this soap, put it in my pocket, and then I'll leave the bathroom.
Okay, would you tell me what flavor? You could tell me what flavor of soap you just put in your pocket.
Flavor?
Yeah.
Soap is flavored?
Garlic.
Rick
It
eats
is
a lot of.
it's
Rick eats a lot
garlic
of
flavored soap.
If that makes
Garlic
you
and
happy,
rosemary?
sure, you can have some garlic and rosemary flavored soap.
And silver? Is it possible to have? No, it's just garlic and rosemary. And then I'll with the Pims. I'm gonna take that with the Pims. And
Okay.
when I step out, where is everybody? Are they literally there in that room as I step out, or are they in a different dining room area?
Yeah, no, they're in this. I mean, it's all one big room, except for the three side rooms that like seem to be dedicated to specific crafts.
Okay.
Everything's kind of a large open space. The library's in a circular alcove on that main room, and the music area, just the nature of the stairwell creates a little bit more of a defined space for it.
Okay, so when I step out, people are like there. Everybody's there at the table.
Yeah, they're chatting away with Nathaniel Miller.
And when I step out, does he look over? Does anybody look over? Does Sturgil?
Yeah, you would see him glance your way, but he's maybe in the middle of one of these conversations with everybody else.
Okay.
Be like, hi, Captain. Wow,
Okay.
we thought we lost you in there.
Oh yeah, I thought I lost myself. I guess that tuna wanted to find its way back to the sea.
Hey, come on over. We're invited for dinner.
This is tremendous. We have a captain among us. I always wonder how people venture out at sea. And what is your name, good sir?
It's Captain Ghettoff. What's your name there?
I am Nathaniel Miller, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And he so like eloquently, like smoothly moves towards Captain Ghettoff, grabs your hand in his, puts his left hand on top of your hand,
And I do
holds
the
them
like
together.
I do like a very forward grab, and then he puts his hand on mine, and I just like slap mine on top, and I give him just a bit of it. But I've got the Pims like under my armpit, and I
Okay.
give him just the very nice to meet you. Seems like you've got a very hospitable home here. Wonderful. What's for dinner?
I do, and a man of the gin, I see.
Well, a man of the Pims, you see.
Oh, could I have Sturgill make you a drink?
Yes. I'll have a Pims.
Okay.
I have to
And in
ask though,
fact-
where
In fact,
did you?
Dr. Palmer, Mr. Dabson, Dev, would any of you need a drink before I retire Sturgill for a few hours?
Just a club soda for me, thanks.
Okay.
You seem
I-
like the sort of man that would have very nice wines. Do you
Oh.
collect?
Oh, Dr. Palmer, I have the finest wines. May I choose for you?
A red, please.
Yes, no question about that. You seem deeply complex, and I think that a wonderful red that would radiate off the palate would just be a tremendous moment for you. I have one
I'm not,
perfectly in mind.
I'm not nearly as complex, but I'd like some wine too. And I don't want you to have to open a second bottle on my account. So yeah, I'll have the same, please. Thank you.
Oh, and he says, "Are you sure, Mr. Dapson? Because I think that maybe a nice Sauvignon Blanc might be more of your liking."
Oh, no, I don't want to be any trouble. I mean, I'm certainly not going to finish a bottle by myself.
No trouble at all, and I assure you that at some point this evening, all bottles will be drunk.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, your recommendation. I trust.
And Sturgill disappears for a little bit, and then he returns with your drinks. And he says, "Dr. Palmer, a 1924 Bordeaux, and
It's almost like you know me.
and he says, Mr. Dapson,
I love
quite
a good Bordeaux.
a quite refreshing Sauvignon Blanc, and Dev, club soda for you." And
Thank you, sir.
And he kind of winks and lowers his hand towards Sturgill, and Sturgill goes out through a set of doors that were.
Hey, wait, Sturgill, where's my drink?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about your drink. He's like, "Don't worry, I've got you covered, Captain Ghettoff. I'll make it for you myself. I always like to make the captain's drink." And Sturgill heads out through a set of doors between the dining room table and the library. As he opens it, you kind of glance and you see what would probably be the kitchen through them.
As he turns, or as we watch him, does he have a look upon him, any of concern or of interest, or anything more than just sort of like a banal sort of just like gaze upon his face as like a
Make a
servant?
psychology roll.
Oh, that's wonderful. Because
Yes.
Yeah.
Captain Ghettoff's psychotherapist in his spare time, so he has 160 in that skill.
Yeah, he actually has a 94 in that. Right now.
Oh no. One away from catastrophe.
Oh, I thought you meant you had a 94 as
No.
your...
Like I rolled a 94.
You're too caught up in the moment, and you're trying to keep up with what Nathaniel's doing as he heads over to the liquor cabinet and so delicately reaches under your arm and holds the bottom of the Pimm's bottle in a way that you just like alluringly like release it to him.
Yeah, I do.
Alluringly.
Yeah, and then
I'll give it up.
he heads over to the table. There's a bucket with some club sodas and some other things and a shaker, and he starts like shaking this gin drink for you effortlessly with this just wonderful kind of balance. And he's telling jokes with y'all the whole time. I could tell some bad dad jokes, but I don't think that's going to help us in the story.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't seem to match Mr.
Yeah, no, it
Miller's
doesn't.
persona.
Nathan, did you got any fresh fruits or vegetables, like a good cucumber slice? Is perfect within that. That's another.
And he goes, "I'll be sure and rim you with a sea cucumber." And he finishes shaking, dumps it into a glass, and passes it over to you.
I go,
Mr. Miller.
Nathaniel, this is absolutely amazing. It's so light and fruity and mellow. And I quote, because Chris knows nothing about wine, so he quickly looked up what a Sauvignon Blanc tastes like. I quote, "You'll likely feel the saliva forming and running down the insides of your cheeks."
It sounds terrible.
I know. So I've never had an experience like this before.
Are you drooling
I've
too
never
hard
heard
to
a
big loogie
Sauvignon
on the
Blanc
floor?
described like that
Right?
I
before.
know. Who the hell?
I hope it never happens again.
it's
This is
from-
a delicious glass of wine.
This is very saliva-y.
Oh yes, it's very very sloppy wine in the
And-
best possible way.
If anything, the tannins would draw out saliva. So you would think my Bordeaux would cause more salivation than you.
Well, according to this website, it's the acidity of the Sauvignon Blanc, which is low in tannins, that causes the excessive salivation.
I would love that you two are actually having this conversation.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
That was Amelia.
Yeah.
It
That's great.
seems actually really in line with your characters to be discussing wine in
drooling
this way.
more?
Nathaniel looks at you, Captain Ghettoff, and he says, "But on the subject of vegetables, I have most disappointing news for all of you. We're overdue for a trip to the islands, and our fruit stores and our vegetable stores are quite low at the moment. You'll find that we have plenty to imbibe with, and a steady supply of jubilatory drinks and fresh seafood. However, we're a little low on the greenery this evening."
Mr. Miller, how do you get to the islands? I assume you provision in Nassau?
Yes, we do.
How do you get there? I didn't notice a
We-
boat on the island.
Yes, we have a craft in storage below the house.
Oh, how does it get there? Is it through the river?
Via motor, yes.
Well, no, I know, but what path does it take to get onto the house?
Oh, yes, we head out through. You may have noticed a river that exits through the southerly part of the island.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow, that's cool.
yes. But we find that most of our needs are met by the land here, and a wonderful diet of seaborne foods is really. What can I say? One of the great joys of the ocean, and I find I'm reluctant most times to leave here and head north.
I was going to say, in terms of
appreciate that.
vegetables, like I was sort of hoping they'd have a bunch of sea vegetables. Like there's seaweed. No,
Not really.
not that kind of area.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Mr. Miller, will your family be joining us?
Mrs. Miller is indisposed at the moment, and she and Sturgill and I are the only occupants of the island right now. So I'm not sure. She's quite busy in her investigations, and I imagine she's shall we say, not as social as I am all of the time, but I expect that at some point she will come down to make your acquaintance.
Ah, wonderful. I did notice that Sturgill said the Millers, and I just thought if there was anyone here that could tell me about the HMS Paragon, I would
Oh,
like
the
to have all the
Paragon.
information at hand.
The Paragon. Yes.
You know of the Paragon?
Oh, I'm quite the student of history, and I have to say all vessels that go missing in these waters surely strike a chord with me. I think it's one of the great auras of this whole area, the mystery of where these ships go and where their passengers go. It's fascinated me since I was a young boy.
And the historian Richard Harriston, do you know of his work?
Oh,
His history?
of course. I believe one of his books is right over there on the shelf.
Really? You know he went down on the Paragon.
I do believe you're correct in that. Yes.
I also believe I'm correct in that. That is
Wow.
snort at me.
That was great. Nice.
Oh, that's so good.
Quickly during this break in conversation, we forgot to ask, how old does Nathaniel look?
Yes. Great question. He
Can I just
appears-
also add, is he tanned?
Is he tan? He's not excessively pale, if that's what you're asking. And
Is
It does
he,
seem like that's what
does
he's
he
getting
have
at.
pointy teeth?
He did ask if there was a mirror in the bathroom.
yes, and let's see, he's probably in his late 30s, you would guess.
Oh, well, pretty young.
Young,
And Sturgis, is he an old guy? Sturgis?
Sturgill is older.
Sturgill, yeah.
Sturgill's probably in
Sturgeon.
his late 40s, early 50s. Yes.
Okay.
Old Sturgy.
Oh, sorry, I did for interrupting. I just wanted to.
And he says, I would love to offer you a place to stay this evening. We have guest quarters up the stairs if y'all would like to take some time off the sea for an evening and enjoy the island and all it has to offer.
Well,
I don't
Amelia will just
know.
glance at the captain and Dev because although she would very much love to stay, she doesn't want to be left on the island.
As you start to like make those eyes, Amelia, about like questioning, he looks at you in particular and he says, and of course my library would be at your everlasting disposal while you're a guest of the house.
Oh, yes.
It might be an interesting break from sleeping on the.
But you don't have to decide now. Just know the offer is open to all of you. And
Hey, Nathaniel, I have a very important question for you, of utmost importance. Do you have a bathtub?
Oh, a bathtub. Yes.
A big,
in the
big bathtub.
Yes, as a matter
Weird.
of fact, in the guest quarters upstairs, we have a tremendous bathroom with a luxurious clawfoot tub, which you could.
And at the side,
Every
clawfoot, I slap him on the head, like, "You've sold me, good sir. You've sold me on staying."
Y'all are so easy. It's wonderful.
All I needed to hear was library.
You had me at library.
You had me at Dewey.
Well, if
Excuse
other
me?
people are staying, I'd love to sleep in an actual bed for a night or.
And he says, you're welcome to, I assume that your belongings are on the ship. You're welcome to go grab them and bring items back up to the house. Or we have plenty of linens to offer you, though some of them may be more comfortable than others.
Yeah, it might be good to go back to the ship, and I kind of make eye contact with Dev. I think there's a couple of things that I need to get.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll probably stay with the ship tonight, but I'm happy to ferry you guys back and forth whenever you need to.
Yeah, I'll accompany you back down there.
I left some of my notes on the ship. It would be good to get those. I would
All right.
love to show you, Nathaniel, some of the things that I've been researching. Perhaps you might enlighten me.
Oh, I would love to discourse with you. Please. I'll be most excited to see your research.
Well, how long until dinner? Do we have time to make a rundown of the boat now?
Absolutely. I would
Do
say.
we have time to take a bath before dinner?
All right, you're welcome to stay and take a bath if you want, Rufus.
Rufus, yes. Unfortunately, while Sturgill is preparing the meal for the evening, you'll have to draw your own water. But other than that, the bath should be free for you.
Fantastic. And I, without even looking to see what, I'll just turn on and be like, "Fare thee well, good friends. I'll see you in a bit."
We hope.
Nice. Yeah, and I'll call over my shoulder, "Dev, when you come back, could you bring some of my clothes?"
Certainly, Rufus. So I'll go up to Mr. Miller and say, "Mr. Miller, it was lovely to meet you. Thank you for the drink, and I'll see you back here for dinner. Thank you for your hospitality," and I'll put out a hand.
Dev, the pleasure is mine. And again, like that firm handshake.
Yep.
Yours is met with. Yep.
And I can't thank you enough. That was fantastic wine. I look forward to more mouth-watering, sloppy-ass Sauvignon Blanc.
As they're saying goodbye, Ghettoff would have moved over towards the drink cart, towards the pims that I presume he would have put down. And he would have made himself another glass, but he also would have taken the bottle. Just instinctually.
Put it down your pants. And just
Nobody will know the
hope he
difference.
doesn't.
And he's
It's the
not looking
70s. They're
at
all
you-
tight.
Yeah, he's not looking at you, but you hear Miller shout over his shoulder towards you, and he says, "And Captain, please feel free to take that bottle with you."
Oh, that's very kind of you. You see, it reminds me of my uncle. He used to drink Pims all the time.
Oh, that's so tasty.
What a weird thing to say.
The Pims, I mean, it's a wonderful selection of beverage.
Awkward. Your uncle was delicious. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he disappeared some time ago. All they found was the boat.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. Where did he disappear?
Somewhere down here, in the Bermudas. He disappeared. His boat was found.
We hear these stories all the time, right? Ships go out and they don't return, or they return without their crew.
You went into Jersey. It was so
I know.
good.
I know.
So good.
Yeah, my uncle, he came down here and now he's gone. And I just I don't know where it happened. You say it?
So he did that, and no one found him. Anyone wash up on these shores in the last little bit since you've been down here?
We have found bodies from time to time. I will be honest, and the way the tides flow, they sometimes come ashore, not whole usually, but there is a graveyard on part of the island. But last body we buried there was well, it must have been 2 years ago.
And I'd pass along sort of the time frame that he would have passed, and asked if anybody sort of would have passed up in that time, or if they have any mementos or things that they've kept from the bodies that have arose.
I'll check with Genevieve. It's possible she may have known of something that I've missed, but certainly we don't tend to steal from those who wash upon us.
I see. And any notes or bottles that you found? Right, that's like 30 accents in a night.
Bottles.
Bottles.
Got a little cockney in there.
Got any bottles, Gov?
Can I have some more, please?
Please, sir, can I have some more?
And he says that for the Pims, you know.
At least if we never finish this module, we never die.
It's true. It's true. It's one way to look at it.
And you never figure out where Ghettoff is from.
It is a mystery.
Okay. And
Mr. Miller, this Bordeaux is sublime. If there's any of the bottle left when I return, I would love to have another glass.
Oh, certainly. I have it close at hand for you, for you seem a doctor of not only philosophy but the world.
Yeah, but not medicine now.
He just can't let that go.
That is not my area of expertise.
Ghettoff, there are, as you can see, bottles everywhere. We found messages, but it seems a violation to open the secrets of those of the past, does it not?
Well, maybe, but if it gives closure to those that it's intended to be received by, that seems like closing the book on a chapter of someone's life that's been left open and unfinished.
You have all of these bottles here, and you have never looked inside?
But what closure would I gain from opening these secrets of those who launched them so long ago?
That's fair. You take upon then the responsibility of the messenger. But what if the messengee recipient is...
Wait, so Captain, you think your uncle put a message in a bottle saying, "Dear nephew,
speak with an Irish accent"?
Yes, don't speak with many accents so no one ever knows where you're from. And
P.S. The vampire did it.
All right.
Harriston was a savvy man. I'm sure he would have protected his documents while traveling the ocean.
Yes, I'm sure that many travelers wanted to
Right
protect their
here,
documents.
you may have a letter written by Mary, Queen of Scots. Etc.
I believe-
etc.
Would that make her the messenger?
I believe, Dr. Palmer, that the Bordeaux is rushing to you.
But Harriston was carrying such a message.
Yes, but to say that Harriston arrived upon this island is quite far-fetched.
Your
Oh, no.
island is at the coordinates where his ship supposedly went down.
And while this discussion's going on, I'm going to turn to Dev and I'm going to start walking towards the door, saying, "We're going to make our trip down to the boat right now."
I have sources in triplicate.
I would love to see those, Dr. Palmer, but I have extensive records dating back to my great-great-great-grandfather, John Miller, and in no place did he say Harrison ever visited this island.
Harriston.
Sorry.
Oh, see, that's
Harriston.
the mistake. You were looking for you're talking.
Yeah.
Harrison
Triple
never visited the
Harrison.
island. Harriston, on the other
I
hand.
don't know.
We got bottles full of them.
Well, let me go back to the ship. I have my paperwork there. I can show you my sources.
Well, I would be most excited to see them.
All right.
And when
All
you
right, let's get to
arrive
it.
back, this house will be filled with the grandest aromas of a seafood feast that only your wildest dreams could imagine.
Mm.
And
All right.
just really quickly, so as all that's happening, I've gone to the tub, drawn the bath, filled it with bubbles, and you tell me the point at which the vampire jumps out and sucks my blood. But when I'm done with the bath, I'm
Not your
gonna
blood.
when I'm done with the bath, I'll be getting out, and then I
Wanna
want to
take a bath?
I want to stay out of the way, and so I'll just go down to sort of the water's edge and wait for my friends.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No. I'm just telling you the sequence of events if nothing happens.
Oh, okay.
You might
So-
be getting a little ahead of yourself.
Yeah, no
So
shit.
everybody else is leaving the house. Rufus is headed upstairs to his wonderful hot bubble bath. It doesn't even, Rufus, I'm guessing it doesn't even strike you right that you have this luscious hot water.
No, not
on
even
the
for a
second-
second.
yeah.
I take it for granted that there's hot water when I turn on the tap.
And so you kind of slip into the tub. You feel the warm water surround you, and I don't know, whatever you're doing, like playing with bubbles or anything, and you hear a knock at the bathroom door.
Is that Bubbles?
And I say, hello. Hello, I'm in the tub.
But I perfectly understand that, Mr. Wondernutter. I just wanted to make sure that everything is to your pleasure.
Oh, beyond. This is a remarkable bathroom. One of the most beautiful clawfoot tubs I've seen in my life. I don't know if I've ever had a more perfect bath. The best scotch I've had in ages, and now one of the best baths I've had in ages. You have a remarkable home.
I want you to know that tub has served kings and queens. That tub is very old and a wonderful testament to the fortitude of my family's search for the finest.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, now it's got a little jester in it.
It's got a little Rufus Wondernutter in it.
And he calls one more time. He says, "I will take my departure and let you have your leave in the tub, but is there anything that I can get for you?"
No. If it's okay with you, I'll be waiting for my friends as soon as my bath is done. And your hospitality has been remarkable. This has been one of the best vacations of my life, and this is just one part that I'll never forget.
Well, please know that your home is truly my home. And
I think it's the
So
other,
you
I think it's
know
the other way
where
around.
yeah, so that you know where you are in the house. If you had gone to get to the bathtub, you would have gone up the stairs. You're standing before those doors on the other side. You take the stairs up to the left, and then there's a hallway that goes. You would take another left down a hallway. There's bedrooms. There's 2 on each side of the hallway, and then at the end of the hallway is this large shared bathroom. So each room does not have its own bathroom. There's just one shared bathroom.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's where
So-
you are in the house.
And
And-
so again, however you want to play it out, but when the bath is done, I'd stay in for 15, 20 minutes. I'm not going to stay in for hours. And then would, get out.
Make a Constitution roll
Okay.
for that hot bath and that 120-year-old scotch.
Well, you want to see if I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And drown.
Oh,
What fun would that
that's a
be?
dark
Yeah,
turn.
the lamest death in a Call of Cthulhu campaign ever.
You have drowned. What did you
Uh-oh.
roll there?
Uh-oh.
Scott?
That's a bad face Scott's making.
Thank you. I've got to go.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's getting late. We can.
I rolled a 100.
You
Oh,
did not.
my God.
No.
You really did drown in the tub.
Oh my god. Well, lamest death? 5 bubbles.
You know what? Here's what I think's
Yeah.
gonna happen then. Y'all are headed out to the boat, gathering your things, or those of you who are gonna stay on the island are gathering your things, and you see the empty glass of scotch. The cutscene would be the empty glass of scotch slipping from Rufus's hands and shattering on the floor. And then we will cut for the evening.
Wow. Rufus.
I just wanted a bath.
You shit the bath.
Oh. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for being with us under the library. Until next time, you can find us at underthelibrary.com. I think we're just going to call it there. So for me, for Michael, for Rick, for Chris, for Emily, and for poor Scott Rufus, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.